アマゾンの2020年の売上高は3860億ドル、純利益が229億ドルでした。自動車メーカー売上高世界一のトヨタ自動車の2020年の売上高がおよそ2750億ドルなので、このアマゾンの売上高がいかにすごい数字なのかが分かります。ちなみに世界の売上高トップ3は中国の国営企業を除くと1位ウォルマート、2位アマゾン、3位がアップルと全てアメリカ企業となっています。トヨタは唯一日本企業でトップ10入りしている会社です。アマゾンは1997年に18ドルで IPO を果たしました。分割後に換算するとわずか1ドル50セントになります。現在の株価はおよそ3400ドルあたりで推移していますので、この間に2266倍と爆発的な成長をしています。このアマゾンの成長には実はある日本人が影響していました。この日本人がアマゾンの大切な見本となっており、彼がいなければアマゾンは現在のように大きくなっていなかったかもしれません。今この人物を改めて思い起こしてみることで、日本が再びチャレンジスピリットを奮い立たせていけるのではないでしょうか。
Jeff Bezos is here. He is the founder and CEO of Amazon.com, the country's largest online retailer. The company's electronic reading device, the Kindle, has sold in the millions since its debut in 2007. Amazon recently announced that it is now selling more digital books than hardcover books for the first time in its history. Although sales of the Kindle continue to grow, the device faces increased competition from tablet computers such as the Apple iPad. Last week, Amazon announced its second quarter profit rose 45% from the same period last year, and its revenue grew 41%. Amazon stock has since fallen because analysts expected even greater earnings performance. I am pleased to have Jeff Bezos. Your goal is to be the largest online, and you are, retailer in the world. Beyond that, what's the goal?
Well, our mission is Earth's most customer-centric company.
But I don't know what that means.
Well, I'll give you an example. Right after World War II, Morita-san, the guy who founded Sony, set as the mission for Sony that they were going to make Japan known for quality. You have to remember, this was a time when Japan was known for cheap copycat products. And Morita-san said, he didn't say we're going to make Sony known for quality. He said we're going to make Japan known for quality. He chose a mission for Sony that was bigger than Sony. And when we talk about Earth's most customer-centric company, we have a similar idea in mind. We want other companies to look at Amazon and see us as a standard bearer for obsessive focus on the customer, as opposed to obsessive focus on the competitor. So that's one of the reasons we work on differentiated products. It's one of the reasons we take a long-term viewpoint on things. You can't really do the right thing for customers if you're short-term oriented. And if you're going to invent new things, you've also got to be able, and this goes along with long-term orientation, you've got to be willing to endure a lot of criticism. You know, if you're going to put, Kindle is a good example, if you're going to put your back into reinventing a 500-year-old industry, some folks are going to get ornery.
Don't you find it ironic that for many Westerners, they like the old Japan, the beautiful gardens, the tea ceremony, where in fact the new Japan is much different than that. Old Kyoto is much different than new Tokyo.
It's funny, Japanese people have an ability to carry on two different cultures same time. So still we keep old tradition while we are running new technology. You know, that is the advantage of Japanese system. Japan is the only country where two culture, two different civilizations mix up, and also same time it's going on.
But the old culture in Japan was one of serenity, and the new culture is noise, electronic noise. You can't picture a Shinto priest meditating with a Walkman in his ear. Isn't that a contradiction? Isn't part of the old culture of Japan simply going away?
Of course, gradually Japan is changing, but still, I think when I see our friend in Japan, Japanese people have some ability to observe also or carry on old tradition, same time new new technology. So I myself, I was born in old family. My ancestor started sake brewing 300 years ago, and I'm a 15th generation of my family. And so that's why my family still, I myself, carry on old tradition, my family.
Without the new technology, you would have been a sake master instead of a TV master.
But at the same time, I studied physics. So such a two different culture we can carry on.
How much can technology develop in terms of the hardware which is going to be available? Are we close to the end of it, or is it still just in the beginning?
No, I think in electronic field, we can continue to innovate, because this is the most innovative industry, and we don't see any end.
Why
That's
is it
technology.
that the minute we buy a videotape player, for example, that can record for 2 hours, you come out with one that can record for 4 hours?
Because of the competition. That competition makes us work hard. So that makes both sides technology improve. That is a free economic system.
Why have the Japanese industries been so much more successful in developing and marketing and selling equipment of this kind than the American companies?
Firstly, in Japan, we have many companies in the same field. And the competition among these companies is very, very keen. And when we started the first radio or TV, there were many companies. But because of such a keen competition, many companies disappeared. So now the companies who are running now today are all survivors through such a keen competition. So that's why these companies have a very good technology and very hard work.
What part do lower labor costs have to do with the success?
Know that now, dollar and yen exchange rate, Japanese labor cost is higher than the United States, because now yen is very high, and but our strength of industry is not because of the labor cost. I think most important part is technology, and also we have a very good working force who has highly educated and very good dexterity on the manual work.
Right.
Yeah.
Morita's genius is creating products we don't even know we want. But once on the shelves, we can't get enough of them. There's the Trinitron television set, the Walkman, the Video Watchman, the compact disc, and more. Sony is bigger here than in Japan, and so is Morita. He's important enough to have been asked to sell an American product.
The American Express card don't leave home without it.
In his homeland, Morita is not a member of the old-line business elite, the Zaibatsu, and his style sets him apart as well.
He's been a real kind of buccaneer entrepreneur in the Japanese world in ways that we think of as American. And he built a wonderful company more or less on his own in what we would think of as the American tradition. This has made him, until recently, much more admired in America than in Japan.
So for me, just company is treated like a commodity. But company is group of the people. For me, this cannot stand to see that, because we feel a company is just like a family, just like home. We are working together. So this group of people working in the same direction should not be treated just like a commodity.
You even, in your book, put it in terms of human rights. You said the United States claims to be very concerned about human rights. You wrote of it as though that is a human rights violation when a company does that.
That's my observation.
I understand.
Maybe your observation is different.
No. I'd like you to expand on your observation.
In this country, if economy is good, company hires many people to the factory and make a more product and to make a more profit. And then recession comes, management fire the people, lay off the people to cut down the expense and to keep management profit. So that means recession was not caused by these employees. Recession comes from somewhere else. But yet, these employees are fired, losing business, and still management stay to keep his profit. So I am wondering whether human right of these employees, how management regard. If American telling us human right should be respected.
And what analysts say is another mistake. While workers have struggled just to hold on, top-level managers have grown rich. Chief executives of major auto companies can rake in 50 to 500 times what the average worker makes. Top auto executives in Japan make only about 10 times more than their workers.
If you knew you were going to be on the top of any given society, you want to be in America, because the top here is above the top anyplace else in almost any way you can think of. If you knew you were going to be on the bottom of a society, you would not choose the United States. You would probably choose Japan, where the bottom is so high, where the lowest workers are treated relatively well compared to those in America.